Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is Newsfeed at noon on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Let's begin with today's biggest stories. The Philippines is not yet looking to extradite Pastor Apollo Quiboloy to the United States. Quiboloy, a self-proclaimed appointed son of God and ally of former President Rodrigo Duterte, was arrested Sunday following a 2-week massive police operation at the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City. Quiboloy faces charges of child abuse and human trafficking here in Manila, but he's also wanted in the U.S. for sex trafficking and bulk cash smuggling. President Bongbong Marcos says Quiboloy will have to face trial and serve any sentence here in the country first.
Well, the extradition request is not yet there. Besides, the judicial processes that Apollo Quiboloy is going to have to go through now locally still have to be done because what has been done is that we have implemented and enforced an arrest warrant that was issued by the court, and therefore it is now within the court's hands. Wala na sa executive ito.
The Justice Department may include one of Apollo Quiboloy's alleged victims under the Witness Protection Program. Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla says his department is already coordinating with the former KOJC member, only known as Amanda, who has been receiving backlash online since she testified against Quiboloy before the Senate. Quiboloy will remain at the PNP Custodial Center after the Defense Department rejected his request to be transferred to military custody. The KOJC leader claims to have millions of followers. Still, many believe he should not be given any special treatment.
Dapat po patas po tayo sa batas. Ang trato po dapat sa kanya ay kung ano po yung trato sa bawat tao na walang mayaman.
Dapat po pantay-pantay para wala pong kinikilingan na ano yung batas natin, mahirap man o mayaman o maimpluwensya man.
It was an unusual sight at the press conference. Apollo Quiboloy and his co-accused presented to the media with their faces fully covered. After drawing flack online, the PNP says the move was meant to protect the dignity of the accused, who are presumed innocent until proven guilty. It was also done at the request of Quiboloy. Police also releasing blurred mugshots of the KOJC leader. It's a stark contrast to the PNP's presentation of other suspects, like dismissed Mayor Alice Go, who, like Quiboloy, faces a slew of criminal charges. Vice President Sara Duterte, a no-show in the House deliberations on her office's budget. Despite her absence, there were tensions during the hearing. Our reporter Hannah T is on the scene and she joins us for an update. Hannah.
My Vice President Sara Duterte's absence on today's budget deliberations for the office of the Vice President has caused significant tension here at the House of Representatives. The second round of briefing was scheduled after the VP opted to leave the scrutiny of her office's 2025 budget proposal entirely to the House. While her office did send a letter to the Appropriations Committee earlier today, Duterte did not confirm her attendance, prompting lawmakers to wait for over an hour before beginning the session without her. The hearing began with tension as Representative Rodante Marcoleta questioned the committee's ability to bypass the long-standing tradition of quickly ending budget deliberations for top officials. A motion to terminate the proceedings was then raised but was objected to and then voted upon with 45 lawmakers against and 3 in favor. A lawmaker argued that had a representative from the Vice President's office been present, he might have considered voting to suspend the hearing. But with no one from the OVP available to answer questions, they decided to push forward with the budget scrutiny. Mai?
Hannah, we understand the hearing is still ongoing, but without the Vice President or her representatives, who else are being questioned by lawmakers?
The discussions are now focusing on the Commission on Audit's report regarding the OVP's 2022 to 2023 budget, with some resource persons from the COA and the Department of Budget and Management present. Mai?
Thank you, Hannah T, reporting live from the Batasang Pambansa. Let's head over to the United States, where it's the eve of the highly critical and much anticipated presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Their first face-off comes as the race for the White House remains tight just 8 weeks before Election Day. Eugene Adalia reports.
The stakes are high and Americans are pumped.
Well, I'm so excited for the debate in Philly. This is where I live and work, so I love it so much. And it's split 50-50.
Tuesday night's presidential debate in Philadelphia is seen as a make-or-break moment for both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. The two will square off in the 90-minute debate hosted by ABC News.
Generally, I think it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm interested to hear what both individuals have to say. I haven't swayed who I'm going to vote for, but I still want to hear what all parties have to say, though.
Polls show the White House race would likely come down to the wire, and the televised clash would give the winner an advantage in the final sprint to Election Day, November 5th. Most surveys show Harris slightly ahead nationally in most battleground states, but Trump remains well within striking distance.
I think this is very exciting and nerve-wracking, and there's a lot of tension in this country, so I just can't wait for this debate to help American citizens decide on who to vote for.
The square-off will test the vice president's mettle against her Republican rival, who at one point belittled her intelligence. Harris has largely ignored Trump's personal attacks, but the former president is expected to bring his bullying approach to the debate stage.
I think she'll be able to hold her own better than Biden was able to at his age, so we'll see. But I think she'll do okay.
Eugene Adalia, BNC.
Jong legend in Atlanta, Georgia, to campaign for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, the Grammy-winning singer-songwriter aiming to convince young people to vote for the Democratic ticket. He's been a longtime supporter and even performed at the recent Democratic National Convention.
I grew up looking up to artists who use their voices as voices of the civil rights movement and voices that encourage us to be better than we were. And I always thought that that was what an artist was supposed to do. I always thought that was part of the job description.
Coming up, we say farewell to the booming, deep voice that brought Star Wars villain Darth Vader and the Lion King's Mufasa to life. You're watching Newsfeed at noon here on BNC. North Korea looking to build up its nuclear capability. North Korean leader Kim Jong Un says his country will exponentially increase its nuclear arms to counter what he calls the various threats posed by the U.S. and its allies. Kim adds Pyongyang is ready to use the weapons to ensure the country's security. Sad news in Hollywood. Legendary actor James Earl Jones has passed away. He was 93. Jones, best known for voicing the Star Wars villain Darth Vader, died in his home on Monday after a long battle with diabetes. Aside from Star Wars, Jones starred in dozens of other films, including The Lion King and Field of Dreams. His long list of awards include 3 Tonys, 2 Emmys, and a Grammy, plus an honorary Oscar in 2011 for Lifetime Achievement. San Miguel Corporation, led by billionaire Ramon Ang, is set to take over the operations and maintenance of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport this week. Ang says this is an exciting time for San Miguel to lead the much-needed 124 billion peso rehabilitation and modernization of Manila's main gateway. The major overhaul will begin with terminal reassignments. The upgrade aims to boost airport capacity by nearly 80% to 62 million passengers annually and increase runway efficiency from 40 to 48 movements per hour. The country's major business groups throwing their support for suspended Energy Regulatory Commission Chairperson Mona Lisa Dimalanta. In a joint statement, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Philippine Exporters Confederation, and the Employers Confederation of the Philippines said the ERC has become more active in addressing issues in the country under Dimalanta's leadership. The three groups warned the Ombudsman's suspension order could cause disruptions in ERC operations, potentially affecting consumers, businesses, and producers alike. The business groups also called for a swift and transparent resolution to restore the ERC's integrity. Dimalanta was suspended over allegations she allowed power distributor Meralco to source its supply from the spot market without the necessary approval. A key executive of billionaire Manny Villar's retail empire has passed away. All-Home President and Chief Executive Officer Benjamarie Therese Jing Serrano died September 5 at the age of 63. She had led the home improvement company since 2019 and served as president of other subsidiaries under All Value, the holding company for Villar's retail businesses. Over in Canada, convenience store chain Couche-Tard remains determined to acquire Japanese retail giant 7 & I Holdings, even though its buyout offer was rejected. Couche-Tard says it is confident it can arrange financing for the $39 billion deal, which would be the largest all-cash offer for a firm since tech giant Elon Musk purchased Twitter in 2022. It says they may consider divestitures if necessary to secure regulatory approvals and address all regulatory concerns in Japan. 7 & I previously stated the deal is not in the best interest of its shareholders and could face antitrust challenges in the U.S. French luxury label Givenchy has a new creative director. Longtime Alexander McQueen designer Sarah Burton replaces Matthew Williams, who left in December. Givenchy owner LVMH says Burton will present her first collection for the fashion house in March. Burton was famously known for designing the Princess of Wales's wedding dress in 2011 during her stint at Alexander McQueen. Her appointment comes as the fashion industry grapples with a global downturn in spending by luxury shoppers. We're taking another break. When we return, power couple Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce enter their tennis era, showing up in the stands of the U.S. Open. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. We're back. You're still watching Newsfeed on BNC. America's own version of a royal couple steals the show at the U.S. Open. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce served up relationship goals as they watched the men's final between Yannick Sinner and Taylor Fritz in Queens. The two arrived in matching red and white outfits with a Chiefs tight end, even donning a Gucci bucket hat. Videos posted on the U.S. Open X account also show the power couple in the stands cheering and singing their hearts out. Taylor and Travis surely are in their tennis era. Turning now to the real royals in Britain, Kate, the Princess of Wales, announces she is done with her chemotherapy. In a rare move, Kensington Palace released a highly personal video of Kate with Prince William and their 3 children to announce the news. Kate underwent major abdominal surgery in January, which revealed the presence of cancer. She has been largely out of the public eye since, but she is planning a gradual return to public life.
Who doesn't want that news? It's so good. And she's got the kids and yeah.
Doing what I can to stay cancer-free is now my focus. Although I have finished chemotherapy, my path to healing and full recovery is long, and I must continue to take each day as it comes. I am, however, looking forward to being back at work and undertaking a few more public engagements in the coming months when I can. Despite all that's gone before, I enter this new phase of recovery with a renewed sense of hope and appreciation of life.
Such great news. Londoners also welcoming the good news.
It's so good. And she's got the kids and yeah, I can't imagine how scary and emotional it's been, but it's what an amazing thing, yeah.
Well, I think she has to have a balance between her private life and also not putting too much stress on herself, because obviously cancer is kind of sort of a, can be caused by stress. So I think she needs to find that balance.
And before we go, tech giant Apple unveils its newest iPhone line. iPhone 16 is the company's first smartphone built for generative AI. Apple Intelligence will be used to improve Siri and enable users to create text and images through prompts. There's also a new feature allowing users to get information like reviews when you point your camera on something like restaurants. The price tag starts at $699. AI is becoming one of the most important battlefields for tech companies, and Apple is betting on these upgrades to drive more demand as iPhone sales slow. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on BNC, Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.